All right, welcome to another edition of The Guide. I'm Yo, that's Will.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
It's nice to be here with you.
It is nice to be here. It's a pleasure.
On this nice summer afternoon.
It's starting to feel that way. I'm enjoying the warm weather, which is weird. It's ironic. When the weather gets warm for a gamer, it can make things a little difficult because you still want to stay inside to play games, but it's so nice outside. What do you do? The dilemma! But fortunately, there's games like Tiger Woods 12, which takes you outside. Virtually.
Exactly. And
Why you stay inside?
And you never have to worry about the weather in Tiger Woods either.
That's true.
It's always lovely.
So you had a chance to play the Tiger Woods 12 demo. What do you think of it so far? First of all, are you like golf game guy?
I've never played a golf game before.
That's right. I've never played golf.
Ever. But it was fun, I think.
Yeah.
The graphics engine was pretty impressive, I think. It looked like Tiger Woods standing on the fairway.
There you go.
And pretty easy controls too. Just flick of the joystick and you can swing your
smack that golf ball.
Yeah.
I'm more curious to see what it's going to be like when it's available for the Wii and for Move. And I'm kind of curious why they don't have a Kinect version of it, but that would even be more awkward. I mean, it's cool when you got like the controller, but if you have nothing in your hand,
it's hard to know where to where would you hold your hand?
Yeah, I don't know how they would register that. So maybe they'll do a Kinect version of Tiger Woods 12, but the demo didn't have that you saw.
No, not that I saw. And yeah, I'd really like to play the demo. Didn't have any of the campaign story mode on it either. So I'd like to get into that and see how it's developed and how fun it is.
Well, Tiger Woods is uniformly excellent every year, and if you can get it for the Wii, which has always been the best version, although the Move, now that they have that, could also be very excellent because it's basically like the Wii in HD, so keep your eyes open for that. Now, the other thing that we've been playing, we'll have a review of it for you next week, is Homefront, and that has been very interesting. What have you thought so far of Homefront?
I've actually really enjoyed my time with Homefront. I haven't done any of the multiplayer yet, none of that, but we'll
get into that next week so you guys can know what it's like.
But I did play all the way through the story mode campaign.
Which took you how long?
It took roughly 3.5 hours, so I mean it's not a very long-lasting game.
Not in the single player, anyway.
No, but it's really fun, and I think the cutscenes and storylines in Homefront are pretty well thought out, and it makes it for a more entertaining cinematic kind of gameplay.
It's definitely a shooter that focuses more on story.
Yeah.
Which, gets lost sometimes. Even Call of Duty Black Ops, like, the story means what? It's just kind of all over the place.
Right.
But this game has a really focused, very interesting setting. It's all about if Korea were to invade the United States and occupy our country. It's by the writer of Red Dawn. I don't know if you remember that movie. And they're actually doing a remake of Red Dawn, too. Just obscure side fact. And also obscure side fact, they've changed the villain in the new Red Dawn from, I think it was going to be China, now they've changed it to Korea.
Interesting.
Maybe because of the game, no one's saying. Nevertheless, the setting is very, very interesting. They set it up really well in the opening cutscene, where it just makes you feel a little uneasy.
Oh, yeah.
Because the game takes place in Colorado, and here you're seeing military occupation that's pretty brutal, and it makes you feel a little weird. Like, wow. And the setup, it feels plausible.
Yeah, I think it's really cool though. This is the first shooter game that's really caught my attention with its storyline.
Yeah, but the game definitely works hard to earn its M rating. I don't know if you noticed that, but like some of those characters, their language, it's almost to a point where it's ridiculous. And I know they're trying to sound like tough and like everything, but it sounds almost melodramatic at times, and it just made me shake my head.
Yeah, it's
really, is that necessary? No, you sound dumb.
It's a little over the top for sure, I think, with the language.
So we'll have a full review of Homefront for you next week, but it's definitely an intriguing shooter with its setup of America occupation by Korea. So definitely caught our attention.
Yeah, for sure. And now we have something a little bit different, not quite game review, but you saw a movie the other day that caught your eye.
Yeah, the movie Paul coming out, and very, I don't know, it made me feel a little weird. But first of all, Paul, it's your typical rude, vulgar type R-rated comedy. Okay. So that alone doesn't really recommend it to anyone.
See, I find that interesting because I haven't seen the movie, but all I've seen are the previews. And from the previews that I've seen, I would never have guessed that description.
Right. The trailers make it seem like some warm, fuzzy, family-friendly movie of like, it's slightly like E.T., but this alien's funnier than E.T., but hey, everyone go have a good time. No. Yeah, again, language is like all over the place. There's more bombs of the F variety dropped in this movie than we dropped in Iraq during Desert Storm. I mean, they just come fast and furious for no apparent reason. And a lot of the comedy is really vulgar. But the thing that caught my attention the most was the fact that this movie seems to think that if you're a Christian, you're a moron. How could you believe in God? That's dumb. Aliens exist, obviously. Every rational person knows that. So of course there's no God, and the Bible means nothing. That's what this movie says. More than anything else, it has an agenda, and it's an anti-Christian agenda. Even the other reviewers I was there with who don't share my beliefs said, man, this movie's really harsh on religion. So I wasn't the only one who picked up on that.
Man, yeah, I don't get that. I don't see why it needed to go there, because it seems like it could be a completely funny, friendly movie without involving all of this ulterior agenda.
Yeah, it goes down a really dark and very harsh path. It's really mean towards Christians. And, you know, to be honest, the whole argument is flawed to begin with. Oh, aliens exist, therefore God doesn't. How do you get there? Okay.
Right.
If aliens were to exist, how does that change our condition at all? So, aliens exist, therefore everything in history is different now. Ooh. No, you see, the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ is one of the most well-documented events in all of history that won't go away if we discover extraterrestrial life. It's still needed. We are still fallen. We are still sinful. We still need a savior. That won't change if E.T. phones home from here to his home. You know what I'm saying? If E.T.'s here, our condition doesn't change. So that whole premise of the movie is flawed to begin with. It's insulting. It's rude. It makes Christians look like morons, and it revels in it. It likes to kick Christianity when it's down, then point its finger and laugh. So it's a, you know, and all the marketing for it doesn't even hint at any of that. That makes it all the more surprising. Do not go see Paul. For our rating system out of 7, I would give it a 2 out of 7. You know, and I agree with Roger Ebert. Somewhere in this movie, there is a genuinely funny and probably pretty good movie that wants to get out, but way too much stuff gets in the way. And there were moments I did laugh out loud. I'll admit it. There were parts that I thought were funny, but all the rest of it made it just not enjoyable at all. However, it does present an opportunity for us as Christians to have a good discussion with people. If they go see this movie, you know, we can ask that question: why do you think the existence of aliens negates God in the Bible? Like, what is the reasoning behind that? And we can start a dialogue.
And that's a pretty big topic that almost anyone would be up for discussing, because aliens are always an attention getter.
Yeah, especially here in New Mexico, Roswell. So, yeah, that pretty much does it for this week.
I think that covers it. Yeah.
All right. We're going to work on Homefront this coming week, do some multiplayer. If you happen to see us online, we'll play with you, but we'll get that review for you next week. What else are we going to do? Oh, you star in the movies.
I'm going to be making my big debut.
You might. Well, not you star, but you star. Anyone can star. It's a game for Kinect where it takes clips of you, inserts it into an actual movie clip, and you have to. It's kind of like karaoke. You have to read the line and everything. So
it sounds intriguing. I don't know. I anticipate it to be really like poor quality.
It is actually. I'll try and get a clip of me in a movie and upload it so people can see it. So we'll have that for you as well next week. So thanks for joining us.
Definitely.
Here on The Guide. If you got any questions or comments, you can email us.
Will@m88.org.
Or Johan@calvaryabq.org. And if you want to read full reviews, especially of Paul, you might invest some time in that. Just visit HollywoodJesus.com.
And we'll see you next week.